Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Wednesday, November 21st, the year 2018. Let's talk trading. STTP, or stick to the plan. Or I was thinking about calling this how to, a really good trade. Um, I was long dollar yen yesterday. I got in, I think around 40 something. And then I had another buy um, order sitting at about 16 because I looked at the chart and said, these are areas I want to be long from. And, you know, I was in the trade, I was up about so many pips, but I looked on the chart and I was looking at those big candles and I said, this has got to go back to 70. So I put a TP in on 70. So I came back to the trade a couple hours and I had seen it was up. It had gone up, gone back down, gone back up, and it was about 5 pips above. So what do? I stick in the stop loss. I move it to break even +1. And don't you know, it stopped me out and then took off. Right now you can see the yen's over 113. So it would have hit my TP. I didn't stick to my plan. I just didn't do it. I get on here every day and tell you guys to stick to the plan, follow your plan, trade your plan, blah, and then I go and I blow it. So, learn from my mistake. Stick to the plan. Don't change it midstream. You either stop out with the loss that you were going to allow the system, your method, to give you if you were going to lose, or you take profit where you believe it's time to take profit. Don't be fiddling with it. This wasn't a move to break even +1. That wasn't in the play. So that's what happens. Now, of course, had price gone the other way and kept going, I would have been happy. So there's always the hindsight, and you don't want to do that. Trade in the moment, be in the moment, and stick to the plan. And part of that plan is your money and your risk management. I was willing to lose a certain amount on that trade. It never even got close. So I did the bonehead move. I moved my stop up to BE +1 on a trade where that's not to be done. Now, holo trades, you do that a lot because if you look at a holo, you can see price will return to that entry. So a lot of times you go up, you grab 5 pips or 10 pips, and you're happy, and then price will come back and it'll give you a second, sometime a third opportunity to get back in that trade. Okay, on the monthly, you can see here we're right around that midpoint. We're within about 10 pips, 5 pips of it. Yeah, what's the midpoints at 81, and we're at 76. Yeah, 5 pips. On the weekly, you see we bounced off that low nicely. Gaps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still a lot of gaps this week. But remember, this is a holiday week, so I think maybe all bets are off on a holiday week with the gap fill. But then again, we've got a lot of news coming out of Great Britain. And I guess that something's affecting New Zealand too. And let's see, right now, it looks like we're in the lower wick zone, but pretty much all of last week was a wick. And so far this week, looks like it's going to be, most of this week is a wick. For the day, okay, you can see what happened there. We had a gap down. So filled that gap. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs with a range of more than 100. Euro yen clocking in at 96. You can see here we broke the previous day's high by about 4 pips and returned. Looking at the buy zone, I added a column here just to help out a fellow trader who asked about, was there anything that tells how many bars since the current daily high or low were hit? Yeah, it's the bars since in the dashboard here. 2017 dashboard. You come down here, and the indicator name's called since, HL, since high low. So it's bars since the high or low. So you can see here, right here, the Canadian Swiss franc, it's hitting the current high, whereas the Euro CAD, we just hit the current daily low, this bar. And for the Euro Yen, 6 bars ago, this is the current bar. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We made the daily high, and 18 bars ago we made the daily low, current daily low, looking at H1 candles. So that's how that works. And then he was asking about the whole low. We'll get to that. Actually, I do believe we have a whole low later. But back to this chart, you can see here we had the pivot here. So we were fading the pivot, going long here in the buy zone. Your stop loss was never even threatened. You hit the pivot and then some. Actually, you hit the weekly open. If you did a weekly open cross, there was more pips to be made. Rat zone. You can see here we just came out of the red rat zone a few times. So you see here, these types of trades are ones where you might consider doing a break-even +1, because lots of times it might return. So here you come in, you can take your break-even +1 here at the bar close. You see here, would have hit it. Maybe you would have taken your profit, maybe not, but you wouldn't have suffered a loss. Here again, see if you put it at break-even +1, it came back down. Should have taken some profit, at least here at the worst, because it came back, turned around on you. Then you got another opportunity, and you see here on the open, you would have had, maybe you would have put break-even +1. You would have been stopped out there. You could have gotten back in if you wanted, and then price returned. If not, you had another chance here. You see break-even +1. You wouldn't have been threatened after that candle close, and you'd be in the pips. So this is a strategy where you would use break-even +1. Once again, we took out the pivot. We hit the monthly pivot. There's the weekly pivot right here. There's the monthly pivot and the daily pivot. So in one day, we hit all 3 pivots. Still have 2 missed pivots, though, from October the 2nd and November the 9th. Here's November the 9th right here. Price action, 3 ball, red at the line, profit. We got 1 ball here looking to go green at 80. And here we go on the holo. Let's see, green means, they was asking me what do these colors mean. The magenta means that you're within the trade zone, within the threshold number of pips. I think we have a 1 or 2 pip threshold here to let us know, hey, it's time to trade. So we're at the lower wick zone right here. You can see right here within 1 pips of the low wick zone. And here you can see we're 4 pips below the lower wick zone, even though this particular chart isn't showing wick zones. for the holo. I'm sorry, not wick zones, but holo zones. So you can see here, there is the lowest open, and we're 5 pips below it. So once again, right there, we're within a pip of the lowest open, which I believe would be this one right here. So hopefully that answers the question. And so green means you are in the upper wick zone. Red means you're in the lower wick zone. Okay, and here's, not the wick zone, that was holo zones. I get my zones mixed up. Okay, here we go. Now we're looking at the wick zones, except for one small thing we need to do. We need to go back to Euro Yen. Wick zone here was in it, out, in it, and out, like usual. See this stuff every day. I'm not sure. Somebody tell me. Let me know if you're trading the wick zones, if it's profitable for you. Here's the holo setup right here, highest open. You had an opportunity to get short. Pros had an opportunity to jump back in. And see here, we could just trade the 129.00 level for one of our favorite psychological trades. You had a long trigger way back here. Put in a long trigger here. Put in a long trigger here. No dice. Short trigger right now. Oh, Larry live trade, and you can see we're just hovering here. My favorite, or one of my favorites, previous daily, weekly, monthly, open, high, low. I know you guys see this stuff every day. It's the same thing, but that's trading. It should be repetitious. And since I've been changing the charts, you can see here, we don't really have much to show on the tick chart. And right here, we've once again changing the charts, changes. So relative to right now, we're looking for it to either go long or short right there. So that's it, fellow traders. STTP, stick to the plan. Okay? What more can I say about that? Because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. Now, I want you all to have a really nice and safe Turkey Day holiday, Thanksgiving holiday, and I believe the markets will be open. So if you're so inclined, drain the banks.